Thanks for joining us tonight. This is the Deep Space Exploration Society, and I'm Paul Saban, the president of the club, or the society, I should say. It's not a club. And also that this is probably one of our few left in this year, so it'll be quite good to get into the new year soon. But anyways, in the meantime, I'd like to take a look at our agenda here. Let's just see who's here right now. Anyways, make sure we've got any new members recognized or any new participants. Let's see here. I'm going to unshare. If I can do that. Let's see. Stop share. There we go. Okay, so hey, we got Mario on there. Hello, Mario. Good to see you again.
Howdy. Happy to be back.
Yes, yes. And let's see, we got Mark Drayton there from Western Australia. Good morning, Mark. And we got Megan on here from Eads, Colorado, one of our new members. And let's see, I see Bob Haggerty there. Hey, Bob, good to see you. Let's see who else we got on here. I thought I saw, let's see here, let's close a couple of these other screens. They keep changing the format of the Zoom, and I get to see a lot of new icons on here that I don't know what they're doing. But we have 17 participants on tonight, and I won't be able to see them all. Let's see. Gallery. Oh, there we go. I had the wrong button pushed. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, Bill Miller. Good to see you again. And Floyd and Mike Ott, W9YS. And Bruce, KE0VR. Heard my cough. Good to see you again. And we got Alex on here from Arizona, and Peter. And we got Gary. He looks like he's still connecting. So I'll just wait a minute here, see if he gets himself connected. Did I miss anybody? Oh, Floyd. Hi, Floyd. with the galaxy behind him. Okay, well, without further ado, I'm going to get started on here and just take a look at our agenda for a second. Let me just see if Rick is going to join us tonight. I'd like him to talk about something. If he's there. Okay, anyway, I just set that off. Let's go to our agenda. And okay. So tonight we're going to discuss the last weekend that we just had. We had the ARRL EME contest. And that was using our call sign K0PRT, and I'll talk about that. Talk a little bit about the Colorado Springs Astronomical Society that came out and joined us. Deep Space Network update by Alex. And I was hoping to get Rick on here just to give us an update on the Artemis 2 project. and then a building update by Bill Miller. Okie doke. So let's get into the agenda here. So the ARRL contest was held over 2 weekends. We had the this is our, I forget how many of these we've I don't know how many of these we've had since we started using the moon as a reflector, but I'm sure this is probably about the 10th contest we've been in, or maybe more, because we usually do a couple of them. This is a 2-weekend thing that the ARRL puts out, and it's in October and November. And it covers all the bands from 6 meters up to some very high frequency in the microwave spectrum. We were using it for those 2 weekends on our 23 centimeter band, which is 1.2 gigs. And we had operators, we had Alex, K6VHF, we had Bill, KE0VR, which, sorry, make sure I could, I got it right there, Bruce. KE, I think that's your call, KE0VR, and N7LWS. And that is, my gosh, my brain's going on me here.
Larry.
Larry, I should know that because that's his first letter of his name, LWS. Yes, Larry. There's the NO0T. I don't know who that is. VK6PY from Australia, and Vlad, W6BVB. And it was very handy to have some of these operators. The last two were actually operating remotely, which is kind of a cool thing that we've got now that we've got fiber into our premise and have high-speed data. People can participate by coming in remotely on their computers and operating the radios remotely, and they can see what's going on the screens. So we were in the multi-op category, obviously, and on all modes. And we logged 211 QSOs total. Of that, 175 were new contacts and counted towards our score of 2.38 million. That's probably I'm pretty sure that's a record for us, because I don't think we've ever got the highest score as that. Conditions were extremely good. We had a supermoon for those who have not seen it very often. It doesn't come around that often, but when it does, we're at the moon is the closest and it's the largest, and it also the moon conditions for EME were absolutely perfect. So we were getting some very good signals off of people, even with very small dishes, like 1 meter dish. We were able to copy. So you don't need a big antenna anymore. Hey, I'm Neil. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. And Dave Gibbon. Thanks, David.
Hello there. Nice to be here. I hope you enjoyed the meeting.
Yeah, thanks for coming on board. All righty, let's move on to the next slide. This is what our setup looks like when we're operating, and this is what you would see on your remote computer. It's basically the same thing that Mark and Vlad see when they're operating. And how did you find it, Mark, this time working remote with this setup?
Well, it was a lot smoother than last time. Last time I was kind of moving the mouse and waiting to see if it moved, and clicking on something and waiting to see if it clicked, and trying not to destroy stuff. But this time it was very smooth, much easier.
Yeah, that last time you're talking about was last year, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Before fiber.
Before fiber. And on the screen here, you can see this is this is actually a some software we have, which is called Win for ICOM, which basically takes this little radio down here, with all these different modes and buttons and everything else, and it makes everything available for us to on one icon that we can click on. So it's, for me, it's a lot simpler. I don't have to search around through which menu to adjust the radio. So this is a really good tool for us. Over here, this is some software that Alex created, which shows what the moon's position is versus what our dish is telling us it's at, and you can see how close they are. And this is also pretty important. So if someone is remote and the dish starts to go off in a different direction, and at least you know that it's not on the moon anymore. And this is a great little feedback piece of software that we have. And over here you can see this is the one of the digital programs that we use called WSJT, and it's running a mode called Q65. And we're also running that in with some software called N1MM, which is a contest software. And what this does is this just basically allows us to keep track of the contacts up here. And if we see somebody on that we've not seen before, we can click it. We can type in here and make sure that we haven't already worked them. Being that it's over 2 weekends, you sometimes forget if you worked somebody the previous month. And so this keeps track of it because they take all the contacts from both periods, and you can't, like, if you work a guy in October, he doesn't count in November. So you want to make sure you're not missing anybody. So that's part of it. Here's what the tones look like on a screen on digital, and I forget how many tones are in that. I know that Alex knows. Do you know? Can you tell me how many tones are we using here in Q65?
Well, depends what mode is used,
Oh,
but
well, let's say 30,
Yeah.
which
If
is
you
every
take
30 seconds.
yeah, it's about 30 tones, and 15 is about 15, and so on.
I see. Okay, well, that's easy to remember. Yeah, so right now we're dealing with 30 different tones, and the software decodes it and gives us the call sign, the report, and the grid square of where this person is. And that way it counts and logs it into our logging program over here, this N1MM program. And when we work somebody new, it tells us over here the right little red check marks that says it's a new grid. And scoring is basically simple. It's the number of contacts times the number of grids, and that gives you your each contact is worth 100 points. So 100 points times number of grids. It doesn't matter whether you're working on CW, sideband, or digital. So you have 3 ways of working somebody. And over here we have a this is called HB9Q. It's called a logger, but it's a chat room for anybody who's on EME. And this particular one is 432 and 1296, and right now we're looking at the 1296. You can't read any of that, but I could, when we want to let people know what frequency we're on, we click this and it sends out our frequency and who we are, and maybe a little bit of information about us. So that's just another way of saying hi to everybody. We're over here, and as the world turns, as the moon moves around, we get new people coming into the moon view, and they come on there and they say, hey, now all of a sudden you've got somebody from California, or you got somebody from Japan coming on board, and we can start working these folks. We worked quite a few actually VKs. One of the most unique one was we had a 8Q7 that was in let's see, that's the middle of the Indian Ocean. And what was that location, Alex?
Maldives.
Say again?
Maldives.
The Maldives, yeah, the Maldives Islands in the middle of the Indian Ocean. So that was kind of cool.
And we also work Malta.
And we worked Malta there. There's a hard one. So we get some interesting places when we work EME. This is what we track the moon with. This is the tracking software, and the position of the azimuth and the elevation is shown here. And here it's at 79 degrees, which is pretty high in the sky for the moon at this time of the year. And every time the moon moves, or actually the Earth moves and the moon moves, and it gets closer to the edge of the circle, that tells the software time to move the dish, and it just brings it right back to the center of the bullseye here. So that's kind of cool. We don't have to keep pushing it around. So it takes care of everything. And this is our own System 1 operating system that was developed by our members. By the way, if you have a question, just, say something. So here's a shot I took of the dish. This is like in the middle of the night, and I was up for a brief moment, and I decided to take my phone out and take a picture of the dish. And as you can see, it's pointing at Orion. Orion is right above it, and I thought that was kind of cool. But you say, well, are we just looking at Orion? Well, not really. We're really tracking the moon. And here's a little bit better shot, which shows there's the bright moon above us, and there's the belt of Orion and the sword and head and all that other stuff around him. So that was kind of a cool thing. And I did, again, this is just with my cell phone, going outside and taking the picture. And then in the morning, I took another shot of the dish. This is as it's going down. The moon was out west of us, and we're probably around 200 and some odd degrees at this point. So if you're ever interested in coming out and seeing this is really, really fascinating. And let's see if I've got anything else in there. I think that's all I've got right now. Any questions on the EME contest? I'm not sure when we're going to get the results of this, by the way, but hopefully we'll find out soon. I'm not sure how we did in terms of first place, second place, third place. There's a lot of really good stations out there. The two that are probably most competitive to us are W2SZ out there in New Jersey, and one of the operators was K1JT and from the author of WSJT. So he was operating the station there along with a few other folks. And the other one was their contest station was SP0. Alex, help me. What was this call?
No, SP0 KMM. They were just 1.5 meter dish, but multi-operator. But that was Sugar Papa 3 Echo Yankee Delta.
Yeah, but didn't they have a club call?
That is the club call.
Okay, all right. Anyway, those are the two big ones that are working in the contest. So with that, let's go back to the agenda. If I can find it. Let's see, there we go. All right. And one more. Okay, with that, oh yeah, that was the other thing we had. We had two gentlemen showed up, Ralph and let's see, that was I forget the other fellow's name, Floyd. Floyd sent a couple of folks over to us to do some astronomical work with some pretty good telescopes. They set one up there as a 10-inch scope, and I had a chance to talk with them, and they were very excited to visit us. So that was kind of neat, and it was pretty cold out there actually that night, but they were definitely dressed for the occasion, and they were out there checking out the dark sky that's available to us before the moon came up. So we had at least a couple hours there after the sun went down that they could then get some good views of the stars and the planets. And that's something we discussed a little bit. They go around to all kinds of schools and do this kind of work, and I'm kind of hoping that we can convince the Colorado Springs Astronomical Society to come out when we have some schools in our area, because we don't have any big telescopes in Southeast Colorado, and this is a very good opportunity for us to help students maybe get interested in physics and astronomy, showing them like we do have, we have the radio astronomy, but we also have the visual astronomy available to us. So that's something I'm kind of hoping we could get going. We also had some other operators visit us, W7UM Mark and Ted N7VZ. They came by, they're new members. And of course we had Mario and John. They showed up. Mario and John are going to be trying to get their license, and they're going to start studying for it very, very soon. And hopefully they'll be able to maybe take a test in January at the contest. Mario and John came down from Fort Collins, which is a really long drive, but they said they were. Well, I'll let Mario tell you. Mario, what did you think of when you got there? What was your first impression?
That dish is that looks in camera.
What's that? Looks like we didn't hear what you said. Maybe you're frozen now. You may have some throughput problem there.
Okay, can you hear me
Anyway,
now?
yeah, I can hear you now.
That dish is so cool in person compared to being on images. Looks way bigger in person.
Yeah, it was kind of cool, and Alex was able to give you a little bit of a explanation on the whiteboard that we had there of what we were doing. So I'm hoping you guys are continuing your interest, and maybe next time you come down for a contest, you'll be able to operate with us.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun. Yes, absolutely. All right. Now we have let's see, go to the okay. So next item on the agenda is the Deep Space Network update, and I'd like Alex to give us a little bit of a discussion about what we're doing on DSN.
Yeah, well, not much to update besides what already been provided. And by the way, if you guys interested, go on our website, DSES.science, and there would be the tab for DSN. Just click the link, and almost current information listed there, along with the presentations that we had in past. So the current updates are, I brought the DSN system to Taskwell, so it's in there. And Roger spent some time to work on the mount that's going to hold the system, the feed at the hub. So we tried. Looks good. There's some minor adjustments need to happen, but that's going to be probably sometime in November, perhaps early December. We'll arrange the time to come to finalize that. So basically, we're ready for the field testing, where we're going to use some objects, deep space objects, before we commit to go and spend time with Voyager. We want to make sure the system is fully functional and And we're getting what we expect to get according to the calculations and all of that. So I have nothing to add to the system that's currently exist, other than if we'll find some need to update the system from the hardware perspective or from the software perspective. Also, if it's been written, tested, and ready to go. And if there are any updates, I'll post that on the article we have on our website. Other than that, we'll just wait for the weekend we decide to come and finalize the system. So we'll have cool stuff. We're probably gonna use a couple deep space objects for calibration. Perhaps one gonna be a solar probe, lunar orbiter, and the Mars orbiter. Those are signals going to be hot, so we'll make sure that everything is working. It also would be good study to find out the focal point. Based on our previous presentation, where I mentioned that the DSN system is on the platform, a linear actuator, so we can adjust to find the better signal. We're going to use any of sources from the sky that generate a good amount of noise on 8.4 gigahertz to calibrate to find out the focus of the feed on 8.4, which is going to be equal also to other frequencies. So it multiple items we will check and verify during the DSN field testing. Once again, as I mentioned, that's probably happened sometime in late November or early December. And the actual DSN, where we try to detect Voyager 1, would be probably next year in January. That's all I had.
Yeah, can you see the pictures I'm showing, Alex? I'm showing pictures of the DSN.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that. You and Roger probably two guys that snapped those pictures. But yeah, this is the system without the cover, top cover.
Cover's back here. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is basically sub chassis and very simple assembly, nothing special there. What we have there, feed from front. Can you find a photo where the feed is? We're looking at the back side. Yeah, that's okay. So front side is a feed, 8.4 gigahertz. That's the septum feed. So it has both polarizations, right hand and left hand circle polarizations, and we have a relay that switches between polarizations and have a bandpass filter with a low insertion losses, and then we have a down converter with the built-in preamplifier, overall 35 dB internal gain, and then we use IF frequency for 32 megahertz, which is connected via bandpass filter to SDR receiver, which we use Arduino. Sorry, not Arduino, the R2, AirSpy R2, and it's we're using the OCXO, not GPS discipline oscillator, but the crystal one. Stability is minus 99. But we do have ability to use external reference if it's needed. That's why we have connectors on the back. And output is just the USB 3 connection. So basically everything is integrated in one chassis, and this is mounted right at the feed point, so all together in there. So essentially it's the receiver with the all data processing and on one in one box, and covering the 8.4 to 8.5 gigahertz. There was another box that we don't have photo here, but it's the actual data processing computer itself that USB 3 connected to that box where all the software running and data collection occurs and IQ data recorded and all of that. So essentially, we just use any computers within the DSN network, or you can even do it remote if you will, to connect to that computer that located at the hub and the remote desktop and run all software you needed. So once again, there's no data transfer occurring between the feed and any computers. Is all running right at the feed all together on a high USB 3 speed bus. I guess that's it. Couple things. The system running is a Linux. everything is under Linux environment. We're using Windows remote desktop that accessing the Linux-based computer that's running a Raspberry Pi. I'm currently in process of making second revision of data processing unit using the Raspberry 5. Thanks to Don for that, for the donation. And I using my 4-core, another computer, 4-core, my Windows microcomputer that's going to be in the same box. So we're going to have two environments in parallel, Windows and Linux running, with both with 256 gigabit of the available power for data collection and real time with the high speed, since those was SSD solid state drives. I guess that's it. Any questions?
Yeah, you're going to be running basically fiber all the way down into the control room. So there won't be
Yes.
any RF between the control room and the feed.
Yeah, we're utilizing the same fiber optic, and just FYI, we can use we have a fiber optic splitter, so we can run multiple fiber optic devices, and in splitter we have it's 2 splitters, 2x8, so we can sorry, it's a 2x4, so we have total number of ports 8 available. So we can use 8 different devices that have fiber optic. For example, Diane is one of those, and the Eve box is well a fiber optic. It's very convenient because we can do any measurements not related to amateur radio, talking about science. We can have SDR receivers placed right in the hub without any RF cable connected. So there's a lot of opportunities, and we're flexible to do whatever we want based on the purpose we need. So anyway, that was a good comment.
Yeah, Alex, let me ask a dumb question. I should know this, but you got the fiber optic, but the 432, does it come down on fiber optic? The intermediate frequency, or are we on coax with that?
No. No, well, I'll again describe, I guess you missed, Bill. There is a SDR receiver. There's nothing coming down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in the unit, in this unit. Yeah, I got it.
Yes. Yeah. So, and I do have, if anyone have technical questions, there is a presentation and diagrams listed on the website. If anyone interested, please, I encourage you to go to the page and look up how is the whole connection accomplished and everything. So in case of 432, as I mentioned already before, is the output down converter connected to the band pass filter, which is 432, and then connected to the SDR receiver, which is in the same assembly. So there is no RF signals coming out. There's a 8.4 gigahertz coming in, and SDR receiver connected via USB 3 to the processing unit with 2 feet cable, and from there it's only fiber optic. So that's the DSN system design level.
Is this
Alex,
Go ahead.
will we be able to access this remotely into the computer system that's at the site?
Correct. So all you need to do is just use any. If you can access from Linux, you can access from Windows environment. Well, let's say it's a Windows, right? You just click on the Windows settings and open remote connection. All you need to just punch the IP address. As long as you're within the DSES network, and you can be in bunker, you can be in control room, you can be anywhere within the DSES network, and then you just use a remote application to connect. And I can add multiple sessions, so actually multiple people can be accessing the same with the different privileges. So yeah, the answer is you can access remotely.
Can you give us that IP address on Groups.io?
Yeah, well, when we get to the testing, when we'll finalize the system, we're gonna have everything posted, obviously, all the IP addresses, as well as the applications. Because right now I have a bat file, because there's multiple software running in parallel, and in order to simplify that, I'm just running the bat file. So you're just gonna execute the bat file. It will connect all pieces of software running. Everything is open source, and everything will be eventually posted. So everyone would have access as open source. So feel free to modify and add whatever you want.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Alex. It's pretty enlightening. Just my question, is this the Air Spy here?
Yeah, that's correct. And I want to also mention this is not specifically for deep space network. It's essentially the receiver that covers 8.4 to 8.5 gigahertz, which is the DSN frequency spectrum allocated by NASA, allocated by FCC for NASA deep space probes. So every single deep space probe launched by NASA and any space agencies, could be ESA from Europe, they operate in that frequency range. So, but it can be used for science study if you want to measure the spectrum noise from any space objects and galaxies, whatever, that emitting on those frequencies. Essentially, you have a full receiver, and you can use that for that as well. Plus, with the conjunction of the focal point adjustment, we can find the perfect distance from the at the focal point for the ultimate performance, because all we have currently, everything is fixed, and we do have ability remotely controlled to adjust the feed. This is the first time would be the fully remote controlled feed that we can remotely adjust. Also can be used for the noise measurements, and we're going to use the noise source. Let's say moon noise, for example, or any other objects in the Milky Way that we can use as a noise source that emitting in that frequency for calibration. So keep in mind, it's not just for deep space network probes. It's going to be used also for science.
Great, so this is how we're going to be doing science. Pretty slick, Alex. Thank you very much. All right, let's go back to the. I can get back here. Must be an easier way to do
Yeah,
this.
it was Rick. Rick was next, but I don't see Rick on yet.
Yeah, Rick was saying he was busy all day and he just sat down to dinner as I was
okay.
calling him. So
All right. Well, let me go ahead and go, and then we'll come back around if he comes on.
that would be great. Thank you, Bill. And I'll let you. Do you have something to share?
Yeah, I do.
Great. I'll stop sharing.
All right, I'll pick it up over here. Okay, you should be able to see this.
Yep.
A lot of one of the things that we do, like when we were doing the ARRL EME contest this last weekend, that was all during the evening after 6:30 at night and through the night. And during the day, we had a lot of time on our hands to do other things. And so Roger and I came down. We were working on a number of different projects around the site. There's always stuff to do. One of the things about the DSES site in Haswell is that once we, actually even before we built the building, it's always been this way. It's a big site. There's a lot of things we're trying to get done, especially with the building and the consoles and the control room. And now with the 30-foot dish that we want to resurrect and all those things, there's a lot to be done. And people have asked me, well, I don't know what to do. I'm not technical enough to do the big things like Alex is doing with the receivers and such. But there's still a lot of things that people can just contribute to. And I compiled this list. I asked Bill Thomas to send it out on Groups.io. He thought it was too long to send out, but I'll share it with you here, and then we'll prioritize it and we'll put it up on Groups.io and have people look at that. And there's just always something you can do. So don't think you have to be super technical to contribute to the DSES. These are some of the things that I've been working on. Some of them are the building infrastructure, things like the broken window, work on the cistern, for the water, filling the cistern. We got that done. Paul got, I think Megan was a part of that, or she came out, or her husband came out with her, and they filled up our cistern. So we have a full cistern of water. We've got the heat pumps that need some maintenance, building sealant and flood mitigation. We always have water coming in and dirt coming in. So we want to seal up the building as best we can so we have less cleaning to do. This weekend I worked on the outhouse a little bit. We had project where we were mowing the weeds for the open house, and the tractor ran over the PCB pipe near the outhouse. So I repaired that this weekend. Paul and I went out and worked on it, and we just about got that finished. Auxiliary storage shed. We need to bring one of the little railroad buildings over near the building so we can store our lawnmowers and our barbecue grills and anything that has volatile substances and fuels in it, so that's not in the building. Electrical work that we need to get done, networking work that we need to finish off. A lot of these things we've gotten done. Wherever you see a check mark, myself, Paul, Roger, we've all worked on this. A lot of it was doing the fiber, like they've talked about the fiber optic. We got fiber optic installed. That was a big deal. And so we credit that to ES Tech for bringing all their guys out and getting the fiber in the ground and hooking us up. Grounding and bonding, we've got the console done. We still need to do the radio console with bonding and grounding. And the building itself, we need to tie down the ground in multiple points and get lightning protection and lightning mitigation, static mitigation done, as well as just get the whole thing bonded down so we don't have noise sources and ground loops. Things on security, guards on the windows, the cameras need to be upgraded from Nest cameras up to power over IP cameras, and a camera server to handle that. Fiber optic access to the bunker. We did get that done, so I should put a check mark next to that one. And the battery room in the bunker for the sump pumps, got to get that done. The bumper wrap needs to be cleaned out again, and a lot of work done on that. A lot of work on the bunker to keep it from flooding and to mitigate it when it does flood. Try to get things set up better on the bunker. The generator shack needs to be cleaned out. Communication trailer needs to be cleaned out. The battery shed needs to be cleaned out. The dish pedestal needs to be cleaned out. All of these are things that we could just use some manual labor doing. And so if you want to come down some week, we need to reestablish our work parties. You used to have a work party every month on a specific time, and we need to set that up again and get more people down to do some of this work. And then the big one is the 30-foot dish that was taken from a silent key over in Ignacio, Colorado. We got it hauled out, got it torn down, stored at the site. We need to rebuild that 30-foot dish, get the foundation set for the pedestal that it sits on, and get a crane and get the 30-foot dish put back up. And then we'll have 2 large dishes, bigger than most people can muster in the radio community. And so we could do things like devote the 30-foot dish to things like EME and keep EME systems up and running all the time. So stuff like that. So there's just a whole lot of items on this list. I'll prioritize these and put it back out there. And like I say, anybody wants something to do, doesn't have to be super technical, but we have a lot of work that we could get done to further the site and get things cleaned up and more organized for the future.
Hey, Bill?
Yep.
Are we going to add the 2 the Roan 45 towers that we have to put up?
Yeah, they're on there.
Oh, they're on there?
They're on the list. Yeah. Yeah, they're on, let's see, I don't know where they are on the list, but they're on there somewhere.
I'm sure they're there somewhere. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I need to do is just organize this a little bit different, break it down a little bit better. So yeah, here it is. HF and VHF antennas. These are the towers that we've poured the foundations for the Roam 45 towers. All we have to do is get in there with a gen pole and put the towers up and put the antennas on those towers, and then get them hooked up with the coax into the console.
Some good climbers. I'm sure we've got some climbers in our group.
Yeah, we need some tower climbers. Yes, definitely.
Great. Thank you.
You bet. So I'll turn it back over to you.
All right. Well,
Any questions on that before I turn it back over here? Okay.
Bill's the guy to talk to. And I'm sure he'll be more than happy to hear from you.
Yes, I will.
All right. Any other questions or comments? I could tell you a little bit about Artemis in a way. We did submit our RFI to NASA, and Rick Hambley put it together, and myself and some others helped edit it and put the stuff in there so that we have the information that NASA needs in terms of our ability to accurately measure the Doppler shift. And I'm kind of a simple guy and asking like, okay, why is all this important? This what we have here is a 60-foot radar dish or 60-foot radar detector, just like the cops use. And what it does is it just measures the frequency difference between what the signal is that's coming out of Artemis and what we're receiving it at. And we have to be very accurate. With that accuracy, we can tell NASA how fast their vehicle is traveling with regards to the Earth's atmosphere, or at least where we are. And having multiple dishes all over the world like ours, or volunteer dishes, they can get enough information to be able to accurately measure the speed of the aircraft. And so we will hopefully be involved with this project. We still have to wait for the answers to come back. They're going to tell us where Artemis is at any one time. So that'll be something else we need to do. Another project is to load our tracking software with the information from NASA so that we will be able to track Artemis wherever it is. And then the following that would be Artemis 3, and Artemis 3 will be actually a manned landing on the moon, and they're going to be landing on the South Pole. And the reason for that is because the South Pole is where water is detected, and we can actually get many of the things we need from the moon to build a community there. And hopefully we can get there before some other countries do, and we can plant our flag, and that way nobody can come along and say you can't be there. So that's kind of our objective here in the space race. Anyway, that's all I've got. So
I have a thing, Paul. I'll just throw here since before I forget again.
absolutely.
I'll send this over to you, but we got the water results back.
Oh, great.
They said the only thing that was off is it's a little bit hard, which in this area we have hard water, but everything is within normal and safe. So I'll send it over to you though.
So safe to drink, huh?
Yep.
Well, absolutely. Well, that's great to hear. Thank you very much. That's awesome. And Megan, you're going to be there's a ham fest actually coming along in January, which is up in Fort Collins, where they're going to have testing going on. And there's also a ham fest in February, which is, I believe, going to be up in Adams County, which is not that well, which is still far away, but it'll be on a weekend, and they will have people there to test you and get your license. So hopefully
Put it on my list. Hopefully the test isn't too hard for my tiny brain.
No, not at all. Well, Megan, also, we have a number of people in our group, in our ham radio group and DSES group. Several are VEs. And in fact,
it's a volunteer examiner.
Yeah, volunteer examiners. So they can do the exams, and they do that almost every weekend here in Colorado Springs, every Saturday. Also, Ray Uberekin teaches a ham radio primer to teach people how to get to the first level in ham radio. So that can be done too.
The tests are the entire test, I think there's 3 of them or 4, something like that, are on the web.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
you can take them yourself on the web and get familiar with what they are, and it will be one of those tests.
Okay.
And they don't even mix. I don't think they mix the answers. I mean the questions. So it would be you would be taking one of the tests that is on the web. So it's you can get yourself familiar with the questions, and I found the confusing part for me was not necessarily the physics, that's my field, but it's all the regulations and,
Yeah.
and the
Well,
rules
that's
and the
great to know,
operating
too.
rules.
We have some people in the community that are probably interested in
Right.
making it a little more manageable.
Yep.
Would
Oh,
be
but
great. And even just working with the high school with the principal here with some of this stuff, like
yeah,
that may be something that could be worked into the curriculum for some of the kids even in the school.
Yeah.
sure.
Megan,
The tech questions aren't they're not college level math, and they're high school level math. You can do it, and as I say, the entire content of what you'll be responsible for is listed there in
And
question
I
in
want to add,
question form.
I want to add one thing. It's to make things even more simpler. By the way, you don't need to go anywhere in any sessions. RL accepts online, so there's a link. You do a Zoom and pass exam. You don't need to go anywhere, so you can do this from your bedroom. So that
Okay.
makes things easy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the city a lot, but again, just kind of talking to some of the local people or the high school kids or whatever, whoever might be interested, that's actually a really great option because I'm in Denver 3 times a month, but I'm alone in that. So,
Megan, if this group of knuckleheads can do it, you can too.
oh, good.
Well, both my girls got their license at 8 years old.
Yeah,
And
and I don't know how that makes me feel, Paul. I know you've said that, and I'm like, well, that means I can. Oh
well,
man, you're
I'm
gonna
just
crash
saying,
the
I'm
word.
just saying you gotta not think complicated. You gotta think simple, and you got it. And
Right.
that makes it easy. And so what you've got there, I left it on the round table in the control room, and that's
Okay.
I have a box about this size, which has all the flashcards. They have the question on one side and the answer on the other. So if you can handle flashcards, you got every question that's on the exam, and it's broken out by section, whether it's regulations or whether it's technical or antennas or something else. They're all broken down, and I also have a book that I picked up at the HamCon conference that was in Grand Junction a couple of weeks ago. So
Awesome. Well, I'll
you
get those flashcards and start passing them on to Trista when she's working in the shop at night.
yeah, you guys can
Back and
test each
forth.
other, see if you can see how your memory is anyway. But that's how my girls passed it. So
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you have some people interested in the area. So one of the most fun things you can do is get a little club together, high school students and teachers and such, and form your own ham radio club.
Yeah, I think I'm been kind of thinking about some ways to get the community more involved, and some of those. I got lots of ideas turning right now in my head. So just trying to get through budget season for my day job, and then
Yep.
yeah, Betsy said she was interested, so you may want to talk to her as well. She's the editor of the newspaper for those that
yeah,
don't know.
Betsy is interested in all these things, but nailing her down
Yes, I know.
is a challenge.
Well, maybe she can put it in her paper
Oh yeah, she would absolutely do that. And I mean,
yeah,
she doesn't even do much with the paper anymore. Actually, she's
yeah,
passed a lot of it to Raina, but I meet with Raina about other things for the newspaper pretty much weekly. So
yeah. That would be awesome. You guys, if it's not too far a drive, you can use our conference room down there or you can use the library in ease there. So whichever works best for you.
Oh, and don't forget your $35 fee for the FCC application.
I'll try to see if I can raise that $35.
It's good for
Good
10
point.
years.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No, it's a bargain.
Is it good for 10 years?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I forgot. Yes, I got to renew my every 10 years. Sure, you're right.
Oh, and some of these charge an extra 10 or 15 bucks, but anyway.
Yeah, hey,
All
this
right,
is
well.
Dave. Yeah, I'm one of the VEs here in the Springs, and with the Laurel group, we test the second Saturday of every month. And we don't charge anything. Laurel doesn't charge anything. ARRL does. And I always want to remind people that there four, yeah, it's only a four, you have four possible answers. And when you're doing the studying, don't pay any attention to the wrong answers. Focus on the right answers, and then they'll stand out when you take the test. And right now the FCC is closed. So people taking the test until they get it reopened is going to be just on hold.
It's great, Dave. Thank you very much, David, for bringing that up. Cool. All right. Well, this was a great meeting. We're running up against an hour, so this is the first meeting we've had on time.
Well, all the other meetings have been planned for 2 hours, Paul. We just had more content.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
If you say so. Thanks, guys. All right. If there's any other questions, going once, going twice. Okay. We'll see you guys later. And this is recorded, and we're going to have it on our DSES YouTube page for anybody who wants to review anything that we said tonight. So thanks again, guys, for showing up, and we'll see you at the next meeting. 73.
73.